If you're a subscriber to this channel, more than likely you like collecting retro video games. And while it's great to see shows like the Game Chasers with Jay and Billy and Game Quest with Wood, that's not really the typical retro gamer in my opinion. Because a lot of us don't have the time, don't have the means to travel to these awesome flea markets in different places and get these awesome deals. So a lot of us have to buy our retro games online, which can be an absolute pain in the ass. So how do you avoid spending all this money and still getting a quality selection of games while purchasing retro games online? Well, I've been doing it for a while, and while you're not going to get the greatest deals in the world, there's still a lot of ways that you can maximize your dollar and still get a good pickup of games. So this is my Retro Gamer's Guide, do's and don'ts for buying games online. Let's check it out. My number one tip for buying retro games online is definitely avoid the bigger websites. Basically, if you type in retro video games into Google and you see the first 3 or 4 sites pop up, those are the sites to avoid. There's a lot of companies that are making good money off these video games, but they're also raising the price of these games. You see, a game doesn't really have value unless it sells for what it's worth. So take for instance a game like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! While realistically that's a $20 to $25 game, a lot of websites are selling it for $40. What's the problem with that? Well, uninformed people are buying it for the $40 price, which then jacks up the price of the game. So the main thing is, definitely avoid these bigger websites that you see lots of advertising on, because there's a reason they can afford that advertising, because they're basically screwing over the retro gamer and collector. So does that mean that all retro game websites are trash? No, there's actually lots of good ones, but usually they're of the smaller breed. They're more mom and pop stores that just have an online infrastructure as well. See, these stores will compete aggressively with eBay and most of the time offer below eBay prices. Now, eBay can be an overpriced place at times, but still, it's better than buying it through eBay because you're paying less for it. A lot of these websites also offer free shipping, and they also have sales where you can get, 15 to 25% off your purchase order, which can end up saving you a bunch of money. It's a great way to stock up on commons, so definitely look out for the smaller game websites. If you guys are interested in the websites I go to, let me know and I'll tell you. Now my third tip involves eBay. eBay is a great tool, I feel, but you have to make eBay work for you, don't work for eBay. What do I mean by that? Well, there's 2 ways to ensure that you're going to get a decent deal on an eBay purchase. The first is simple. You want to type in a keyword that you're looking for. So if you're looking for NES games, type in NES. Then you'll want to go to your auctions and ending soonest. That way you can kind of snipe a bid in and maybe pick up a good lot for something at a pretty cheap price. The alternative to that is you want to look at newly listed and buy it now. A lot of times people will list things for a quick sale and they'll never make it past a couple hours because people will come in and buy them. Especially these bigger video game websites that sell online like I was talking about. Trust me, I know, they bought a lot from me before. And it's very aggravating. Another great way to get great prices on video games is to use Facebook. You might be saying Facebook, isn't that for like girls to show boobies and stuff and whatnot and get lots of likes on their pictures? Well, yes, but there also is a whole nother side to Facebook where you can actually get games at good prices. The first side of that are retro gaming groups. There's a ton of them. Just type it in your search bar and you'll see a bunch of different groups with people selling games. Most of these groups have less than eBay prices, so you're getting a good deal to begin with. Then, a lot of these people just want to get rid of the games so you can barter with them, trade with them, and get what you want at a decent price. Alternatively, you can also use what I call garage sale groups. In my county in particular, I type in Moore County garage sale, yard sale, and there's a whole bunch of different ones with thousands and thousands of people. I have gotten 70 NES games for $80 in one of these groups before, just because someone wanted to get rid of the game. Sure, there's people that try to act like they know the prices of things, but a lot of times you can pick up games for dirt cheap from these people, and it's like going to a yard sale without actually spending the time to go to a yard sale. Facebook is a very powerful tool for retro gamers, and I feel like a lot of them don't use it enough. My last 2 tips are pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like they need to be said anyways. First and foremost, be patient. Do not rush into something. Do not rush into buying games just because you have some money. A lot of times, the longer you wait, the more deals you'll find, and you'll be able to use your money on things you actually want and need. The second thing is to be informed. There's a lot of great ways to be informed, including something I like to use a lot, which is video game price charting. What this tool does is it utilizes how much eBay games are selling for, and it'll give you a general idea. They have loose, complete, so you can kind of know what a game is worth. A lot of times when I'm on these smaller websites, I'll check out the completed auctions from eBay via video game price charting, And I'll find out that a lot of these games sell for much less than that on these websites. So it's definitely a great tool that you guys have to use because you have to be informed. You don't want to overpay for something and then feel like a jackass at the end of the day. Hopefully using these tips and these do's and don'ts will help you in your conquest of buying retro games online. Yes, it's great to go to flea markets and travel to different areas, but if you don't have the time, like someone like myself, I feel these tools can really help you out and get you some good games at some good prices. Sure, you may never get Little Samson for $5 or whatever doing it this way, but at least you'll be able to fill your collection up with respectable games at respectable prices. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something in it, be sure to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, leaving me some of your tips for buying retro games online, and be sure to subscribe to our channel here at RetroGameTube85. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Later.